Well, hello and welcome to this EcoQuest Healthy Living Company presentation. I'm sitting here today with Charles for the purpose of going through an overview of EcoQuest and to cover both our technology and our business opportunity. And Charles, today, what I really want to talk to you about is something that I call LAWN, the laws of air, water, and nutrition. You know, Charles, I always tell people that there's some laws that you just don't break. You know, for example, if a person is real positive minded, but they walk off a building, the law of gravity is going to get them. You don't break the law of gravity. It works every time. There's some laws, folks, that you don't break when it comes to your good health. And so we're going to talk about those laws, the laws of air, water, and nutrition. First, let's talk about the problem, then we'll come back in a minute and talk about the solution. Let's talk first about air. You know, our body is a big human air pump, Charles. Literally, into our body, we pump tons of air in a given day, week, month, year through our lifetime. And that air is transported to the trillions of cells in our body. All of our cells need clean air every day, every moment, or they will die. You've heard somebody, for example, that was drowning and they got brain damage even though they didn't die because their brain was starved from air. Did you know that your toes need air? The fingertips need air. The hair needs air. All the cells of the body need air. And the problem, Charles, is that today the Environmental Protection Agency says that the air inside our homes, inside our offices, is up to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air. Combine that together with the fact that we spend 90% of our time indoors, and you've got a real problem. People say, well, what is all that indoor air pollution? It's everything, Charles, from outgassing from carpet and paint and varnish and dry cleaning solution and perfume and detergents. The list goes on. Dust mites floating around the air until they get sucked into our lungs. Indoor air pollution is a very big problem, and it was really built up even to be a bigger problem back in the 70s during the first oil embargo. The reason is we began to really make our homes energy efficient. Today we live inside these environments that are sealed very tight with a lot of air pollution. But combine that together with another fact. According to studies, 80% of illness-causing germs are spread by contact with surfaces. If you think about air pollution, where would air pollution settle to? It settles down to surfaces. That could be your carpet where your babies crawl around. It could be the kitchen countertop. It could be the door handle, the railing. Environmental surfaces are where air pollution settles. And according to everything I've ever learned or read, all the studies say that's where a lot of diseases spread. It's called nosocomial infections, where you touch something that somebody else has touched that was sick, or an environmental surface has been contaminated from air pollution, and then you end up catching it in your body. The deal about air filters, that people, well, can't I put an air filter in my house? The answer is sure. If you want to clean the air in a 10 square foot area, the problem is most air never gets to a filter. We'll talk about that later. Let's jump ahead to water. You know, water is one of those things that we don't think about unless we don't have it. If you're on a hot day and you can't get a drink of water, you know the body needs water. The fact is the body is 70% water. The bloodstream is 90% or more water. And you've always heard it said that you need to have 8 glasses of water a day. The body needs to replenish itself with clean water every day. It was just in the news a couple of days ago where they're talking now about the water coming out of our faucets is filled with all sorts of medicines, cancer medicines, sex drive problem medicines. You think caffeine, the water coming out of our taps. Well, I've been saying for years that water is going from flush to faucet. Now the front page of the newspapers are saying the same thing. Here's what they do. They add harsh chemicals to that water in order to make the water at least usable and drinkable so that you won't die just from taking a glass of water. The problem is those cancer-causing chemicals, and they are cancer-causing, they're called trihalomethanes, mix with all of those contaminants, and you've got really a water cocktail. It's not just water anymore. Of course, bottled water is very expensive, and now they tell us that that's very questionable. We're going to talk in just a minute about what the solution is, but what I'm trying to get across is that the body needs a lot of water, and the fact is it's hard to get clean water anymore, and it's going to become a bigger problem. Now let's move to the third part of LAWN, the laws of air, water, and nutrition, and that is the N on nutrition. You know, the human body is a big food pump. So we're a air pump, we're a water pump, we're a food pump. We put food through our body, it's converted into energy and hopefully nutrition, and once again, those trillions of cells throughout the body need that air, that water, and that nutrition. The problem is, Charles, and everybody listening, is that we have cooked out of and processed our food to the point where the nutritional ability to be able to get into the cells is very limited. It's an actual scientific fact that when you cook or process food at 118 degrees, you destroy part of the food chain. Part of the food chain that causes digestion to take place, it's called digestive enzymes. There is no digestive enzyme in food you eat if it's been cooked or processed to 118 degrees. Consequently, your body has to take the digestive enzymes from other parts of the body, and that's where problems come into play. Over years of stripping your body of digestive enzymes, you end up with antacid problems. You see all these commercials on TV today. Isn't it amazing what you see on TV on commercials today? It's like going to a medicine cabinet just trying to watch a show on TV because of all of different advertisements. And one of the big ones is digestive problems. Proper nutrition is critical, not just in the mouth. In other words, we eat because we're hungry, but we have to feed the cells. And it's really a tragedy that we have a lot of people in this day and age that actually aren't underweight. They're not starving like some German concentration camp. They're actually overweight, but the cells of their body are starving. They're starving of proper clean air, proper good water, and properly digested nutrition. And the problem with that, Charles, at the end of the day, you end up with degenerative diseases. I know something about this myself because I ended up at 45 years old with diabetes and very, very severe acid reflux. I'll talk about that in a minute, but I'm not the only one. We have a whole society of people that take pills and medicines to try to cover up the problem because that's modern health care. The solution is use drugs to treat symptoms. So we've discussed now LAWN, the laws of air, water, and nutrition. We've talked about the problems. Let's talk about the solution.